Welcome to Deadlands Dime Novels, The Adventures of Young and Holt, Issue 5, They Might Be Giants. I'm your narrator, Ernest Wick, intrepid reporter for the Tombstone Epitaph. In this issue, our heroes finish up with the last bits and biddles of business at the Carlson Homestead. Then, they make their way to the Mounds in search of the truth behind this business with the Giants. And let me tell you, this issue ends with a bang. But first, it's time for bed, so let's see where they're at.
Since you're having a good night here.
Yes.
In a warm environment.
In a warm environment, and there's some decent food.
Yep.
Does your fatigue go away?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All of it? Or do we have to make a roll?
I know. I'll let it all go. Never let it be said that I wasn't a benevolent marshal.
Have you ever been to the Mounds runs at deer?
I have seen them, and I have walked or ridden around them. But to go in would violate a lot of old beliefs that not necessarily my people, but other native tribes have had. There have been a number of tribes that fought to defend those mounds, this was many years ago, from the encroachment of you whites. If there is somebody going in there, whether it is in the name of science, as that man says, or of a sinister nature, this blonde coat man, to me this is not a good thing either way. If we go there, I'm not sure would go in if I would be able to go inside with you or not.
That's good to know.
Now, that doesn't mean that I wouldn't defend the entrance should you go in there.
But the real question I had was, did you see any symbols or markings around them at all?
Around the mounds themselves?
Are the mounds just hills, or were there markings and such around the mounds or on the mounds?
I've never seen any markings. The thing that we saw around the barn and the cuts on their faces, that is something I've never seen before.
Figured out what I was going to ask.
All right.
But it is good to know. We hopefully will make the right choice when we get there. Whatever it's going to be at this point.
Yes. Do you believe him?
I know that there are many things that I am very much in the dark about, including riding horses. So I tend to take the word of people who have done a lot more than me right now. Whether it's Mr. Young or Mr. Ingersoll. They've done nothing to harm me. Well, I may have had a gun pointed at me once or twice. But I have no reason to doubt them and their experiences. Whether or not their views are correct, I believe they believe it.
Mm-hmm. And you trust this? You trust your friend, despite all of the drink that he consumes?
I trust he doesn't mean to shoot me when he shoots.
It's fair.
I trust he didn't mean to shoot you.
Yes, it was dark, and that was
a very impressive shot.
Yes, it was. I'll give him credit for that. But yes, it's dark. It was a bit chaotic. He may not have, maybe he shouldn't have taken the shot, but again, that is
he may
different matter entirely.
Be a little quick to pull the trigger in general, but I'd rather they be dead than me.
Yeah, no, that is true. I can't argue that.
I am going to sit down. Well, I'm probably already sitting. I'm just going to start dealing cards out in front of me and playing solitaire and stuff as I think.
All right.
Because that's how I think. So I'll probably go for a while, listen downstairs, see if the girl moves, and head to bed at some point.
Define a while. Within about 30 minutes of you playing cards and thinking, you can hear Ingersoll snoring. You probably hear him snoring, and you can tell that Runs a Deer. If he's not faking sleep, he definitely is asleep.
Well, since everyone's asleep, I will probably wait a couple hours then. Essentially taking first watch.
Okay.
While I do this.
All right.
And then I'm actually going to let Runs at Deers take the third watch because he got shot.
Okay.
So I'm going to wait till, is that midnight-ish? At what I believe. Oh, actually, you know what? I have a pocket watch. I will wait till midnight.
All right.
And then I will wake up Joshua.
That's right. This isn't fantasy. We actually have timepieces. This is great.
On a chain.
I do. Oh.
After about an hour, you can hear the telltale of a bolt being slid as quietly as possible to the basement hatch, and you can hear it. So it kind of just slides.
I'm not going to move. I'm going to say when I sat down, let's say the hatch is like right here.
Okay.
And she's going to come up in this direction. I'm going to be sitting like right here.
Okay.
So I'm assuming it's the main room that the trapdoor is in.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so I'm still in the main room. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to say hello or anything. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. So I can kind of, I can see it going, but I'm not going to respond to it.
So you sit there and you do that, and you can kind of hear, I mean, it takes a good 5-10 minutes. There's like a little creak, and then it shuts. And then a couple minutes later, it creaks again. And then you can kind of just tell from your ears, it kind of holds. And then and then you shuffle, and then you can hear it opens up a bit more. And then as you're kind of playing and tapping on the table a little bit, and you can kind of hear just like little pads of
feet go by.
Little feet kind of go by behind you. And then there's
So is the kitchen like over here?
It's kind of so you're like sitting at the main table,
right?
So the kitchen area, is like right after there.
Yeah.
You can tell she gets to the stove because she doesn't grab the plate very good. And there's like scraping of metal as the utensil, the fork, and everything just kind of scrapes a little bit, and then it stops just as abruptly. You gonna do anything?
I know. I'm not gonna do anything.
Okay. After about another minute, you can hear the feet padding back down. And then she continues.
But right as the things, is she closing the door behind her?
Yeah, and so she starts closing the door.
We say goodnight.
And then you do that, and then it just boom, just slams shut. And then
of course, the boom makes me jump too.
And after that happens, and the door slams, you hear behind you, or where the fireplace is in relation to you, you hear Runs a Deer kind of whisper. He says, "I hope we left her enough to eat." But you're able to switch to get to wake up Joshua. Nothing happened.
Knockout for the rest of the night.
Watches.
There was just a massacre here.
Yeah. Where's Eric's street sweeper at?
Where you left it.
Okay.
You didn't tell me you weren't keeping the shotgun.
No, I unloaded it and put it by the window facing the barn, I believe. So I'll go over there, load it, and be facing the barn.
Outside? Or out the window? Just looking out the window?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I guess I didn't do a good job of paying attention to what was going on outside if I'm playing solitaire with myself.
Not at all.
I totally nailed that first watch.
Nothing happened at all. Nice.
The deer came in, stole our food. Nice first watch.
Exactly.
Your watch goes by just fine. Nothing happens. You don't see anything unusual. You don't see any bodies walking around outside like they shouldn't be. Everything goes pretty normally.
Yeah.
And Runs at Deer's watch as well also goes just fine. One thing that you did find, by the way, and I should have told you, in the main room of the homestead, the farmer's other rifle and it is a Ballard 72, which is actually a 56 caliber weapon. This has an additional 20 rounds. So it's got a total of 21 rounds available to use. Oh, let's draw chips before we wake up now that we have reminded ourselves to do that.
Yay, we wake up.
I'm going to draw one chip to use for Runs at Deer. Next morning, Runs at Deer, by the time you wake up, he's already got breakfast going. So even the smell of that cooking kind of gets you up.
Coffee.
Coffee. Runs at Deer does know how to make coffee, and he has made some. And it's not bad. It's not too bad. Ingersoll has got himself to the table, and he's eating. You're eating. So, had some time to sleep on it.
Yep.
What are you thinking?
Are you going to offer any advice?
I'll just be supportive of you. I know you'll make the right choice here. I know you'll make the right choice, Porter, because you're growing a backbone these days.
I'll do it.
There, that's a boy.
Ingersoll nods. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, obviously, like I said, my organization will be happy to pay you. We will pay you. I do not, for obvious reasons, have that money on me at this time. So once your mission's complete, I'm going to stay here until I heal up a little bit and make sure I can gain the trust of their daughter there. And then I'm going to try and get her back to Worthington and bring her to the church, I guess. I can't think of where else to take her to make sure that she's taken care of properly.
Your organization doesn't have means to take care of a little girl?
This kind of stuff falls outside a little bit of our purview. I'll see if I can do what I can. Maybe we might be able to provide a little bit of financial stipend to a good family that might take her in. I'll take care of that in Worthington, and in Worthington I'll be able to get you your money. I'll be able to wire for it.
I'm going to... So, how many days do you think you're going to need to heal up before heading back?
So I'll wait here another 2,
Okay.
and then it's 2 days. It's 2 days ride back. So I'll be able to meet you in Worthington 4 days hence. Should everything work out.
Push myself back from the table, head out to the barn, get the saddle, bridle, anything that's needed for the horse. Bring the horse up and tie it to the porch. Throw the saddle and stuff on the bench on the porch, and I'll grab some tools and things out of the barn so that, they're not wasted when I light it on fire.
Okay. So you are going to set the barn on fire?
Yep.
All right.
I'm changing back into the clothes I bought for traveling since they dried out in front of the fire.
Not a problem.
And I'll keep this change of clothes, pack it on the horse.
Good idea. There certainly isn't anybody here who can use them anymore. Yeah, your fatigue definitely can be healed. Runs a Deer, kind of gathers all his stuff together. He looks at you. I feel better, but I'm not all back there yet. So he kind of looks down at your guns. Let's just be careful.
Well, it's not dark now.
Well, if that's all it takes, all right, that's good. I'll just stay behind you in the nighttime.
I'm not even responding to that. I'm just, yeah.
Fair enough.
He hits what he shoots at. All right.
All right. So you're going to head up?
No. Still sore.
We're probably halfway to midday by the time doing all that with the barn.
How far do we have to go?
Well, it shouldn't be too far. We may have to. I don't know if we'll make it there by sundown, but it might be close. And if you want to make it there by sundown, we can ride a little harder.
So you carrying planks of wood with you?
What? Why?
With the charcoal written on them?
No.
Oh, okay.
Next time we stop at a town, probably gonna need to pick up a notebook. Didn't occur to me at the time. I guess I'll have to do that. Live and learn.
Do you want to make it there by sundown, or do we want to be there at morning light?
So if we make it there at sundown and we have trouble, will we fight in the dark? I'm good with that.
Well, hopefully they've gone inside.
That seems like a plan. I didn't know if we wanted to come in, if we wanted to like take a break halfway and then show up in the dark, so that they're already camped there. We have a drop on them.
We could approach at night. That would be easy
Easy
enough.
natural.
It's not a bad idea.
A little bit of a gamble, but look who we're talking about.
True.
Well, I mean, when we get close, we can take a look at what everything is, and then we can sort of sketch out where we wanted to go, one at a time. Make sure we don't miss anything.
You seem very cautious.
I just don't want to die.
Huh. It's a good desire.
We all die.
It wasn't long after that Young and Holt departed the homestead, leaving behind Mr. Ingersoll, their guest in the root cellar, the remains of that barn, and of course, all the poor souls that they found inside.
You stop a few times to kind of assess. Runs a deer, kind of gets out, does some what you figure has to do with tracking type of things, and after like the second stop, he kind of gets back up on his horse and he says, "I know of 2 mounds that are near. My assumption was that they were going to be going to the one that is a bit more westerly from here, and I can tell." And he kind of gestures towards the open trail in front of you. I can tell that others have come this way, so my guess is that is indeed where they're going.
Well, don't see any reason to deviate then.
All right, let's ride.
Can you tell how many?
Minimum 3, no more than 6.
I think 4 is the guide, because Samuel, we have a name now, Samuel, he was himself. He had 2 with him, and a guide, I would assume.
Okay, that's a good assumption. All right, so you you go for a couple more hours, and we get to a point where Runs a Deer says it's going to be just kind of points off to like a patch of trees, which you guess is probably maybe about a good 5 miles distant. Just beyond that patch, that's where the mound will be. So we can camp here if you'd like. We could go into the trees, but I'm thinking, if my memory is correct, it's about a mile after that. Well, it depends how close you want to get.
Well, I don't want to get too close, because I would give us away. We aren't going to be able to ride horses at night, though. Correct?
Well, no, we could. We just be careful, but we could do that.
This seemed like a good plan?
Seems like a good plan.
All right.
All right.
So you find a little spot, you camp here, get a few hours rest.
Take a nap.
I'm going to open up my saddlebag,
Okay.
pull out a bottle,
All right.
look at it, ground, put the bottle back in, and the fatigue check is vigor.
Ooh.
Is that 4?
It's a 4.
That's a 4.
So I made my vigor.
Make your vigor.
All right, sweet.
So you've resisted the urge to drink at the moment?
Resisted the urge to drink for this 24-hour period.
All right. So after a few hours, Runs a Deer says that he'll keep an eye on things. He doesn't need to rest right now. He's doing just fine.
I'll be cleaning my guns.
Okay. All right. So you're the only one who's sleeping?
I don't expect to be able to stay awake otherwise. So,
Yeah,
I may be running out of adrenaline for a while, but I'll be exhausted.
That's
so I'm
very
going
true.
to take a quick nap.
All right.
Finally off the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe you only have to maybe wait around for about 2.5, 3 hours, and then the sky gets nice and orange, and then you can see the last slivers of daylight. I say we go now. I think we're good. One thing you did notice, and as you were cleaning guns, and while he's sleeping, and Runs a Deer is kind of adjusting stuff on his horse, he has a handgun. In one of his saddlebags, you catch a glimpse of a handgun.
Okay.
You get woken up.
Yeah.
Tap, tap.
Well,
With his bow.
takes a little more than that.
Yeah. Tap, 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 tap.
A couple sips of coffee.
That's one way you could do it, yes. Hey, wake up. It's time.
It's time. It's time. Yeah, it's time.
It's time.
It's time. I nervously start checking all my guns.
Okay.
Grab your rifle.
Rifle.
Okay.
Where'd I put that?
It's on your horse.
It's on your horse. Is it loaded?
No.
I'll go over and show him how to load it.
Perfect.
I will show him how to cock it. I will show him how to safely uncock it and eject a shell that's in the chamber. And then reload it back in.
Oh, that makes sense.
Nice.
Shotguns are a little easier. Teaching me how to load a cap and ball rifle.
Okay, since now I know it's a cap and ball rifle.
Yeah, sorry,
about
my
that.
bad. Also, I should have said that. I should have known that.
Ball. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Powder ball. After you pack it good. Now, when you fire this thing, it's going to kick like a mule, and you're going to have a big cloud of smoke.
Right.
So use that smoke cloud to your advantage. If you wanted to drop this and grab your shotgun, that'd be your chance to do it.
Okay.
Still need to get you a mule leg for that shotgun.
I have a shotgun thong.
Yeah, don't say that too loud.
And also, do not Google shotgun phone. So,
This is heavy.
you mount up, you ride, you kind of cut through the trees because it's kind of hard to avoid them because they're a little bit bigger cups of trees than they look like from a distance. And you kind of break through the trees.
Moonlight?
No, it's overcast again.
Okay.
So there's kind of like a dim haze. It's not completely dark.
Twilight.
Yeah. And you go for about a mile, and let's make a notice check. Let's see who sees this.
I am on edge. That's what
You and
9.
me both.
9. Yeah, very nice. Ooh.
Good thing you didn't drink tonight.
Wow.
16.
16. You two guys actually spot it before Runs It Deer does. You can see in the distance, and it's kind of it almost appears like silhouette. You can't see exactly where it's casting, but you can kind of see this shape. It looks like a large hill, and the light plays kind of funny and tells you for sure that there must be some fires, like either it's a campfire or torches, or maybe it's some lanterns or something. Must be there casting a little bit of this light, but it's probably from where you're at about 400 to 500 yards.
Get closer, slowly.
Well, now we're seeing firelight.
The effects of the firelight. You can't see the firelight directly.
Okay. So any shadows being cast by the firelight?
Nothing from that you can make out from this distance.
And is it only the one fire? Or is it multiple?
You're guessing it probably has got to be, it's either a large one or a couple of fires.
Okay.
Did they have Rindadeer? Did they have fires at the mounds before?
No, the mounds were just the mounds. They were there.
Okay.
The natives knew what they were. They didn't need anything else around them. So my guess is...
Well, we do have to be careful because it could just be the scientists. And we may have beaten Samuel here. I don't know.
So tie off our horses.
Yeah.
Go on foot.
Agreed.
creep up on it.
As you get about 200 yards out, you can definitely see at this point what looks to be like a couple of torches stuck into the ground, but they're higher, so they're on like stands or high sconces or whatever term you want to use for them. And there's probably about 3 or 4 of them actually kind of set around what looks like, difficult to make out, but it looks like there might be some semblance of a camp there, but if it is, it's really messy, at least as far as the light is telling you. You're standing there, and then you hear another crack of thunder. And then there's just kind of as it starts raining, and then you hear another crack, and it takes a second, and then you realize that it's not that was not a crack of thunder, that was a gunshot. Then you start hearing a few more gunshots. And what are you going to do at this moment when you hear this?
Okay, are we like in brush?
You're probably like crouched down, like a little bit of brush. You're certainly low, and definitely out of the ring of light.
I'm going to lay down.
Okay.
I'm not going to get shot right away. Because are they shooting at us?
No, I think they're shooting at the third party. So how are we handling the third party? Friend, foe, or ally?
Enemy of my enemy, as long as they don't try and kill me.
All right. Don't shoot at the Red Hoods then, huh? Sounds good to me.
All right. If they shoot at us, I'm going to shoot back at them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they did kill... Did they kill the farm people? The homesteaders? The people on the farm?
We don't know.
You don't know who technically killed them. They certainly...
They died.
Buried them?
Could be.
Yeah.
Right.
But they did something to them.
Okay.
Make a notice roll.
I laid down in the brush too much.
You buried your face in the dirt.
Got a 5.
Got a 5. Okay, so you see this as you're looking, because you're kind of watching the mound, and you can hear gunshots, and as you kind of concentrate... Well, no, you wouldn't notice this because you're hard of hearing.
Yeah.
But you kind of... So it sounds muffled to you anyway. But you see, and this actually kind of lights things up briefly, there's like a flash of light that looks almost like a lightning strike. It's colored like blue lightning, or it's colored like lightning. And it goes off, and as it goes off, it kind of... You notice that there's almost looks like there's a spin to it. So it looks like somebody dropped almost like a light bomb briefly, but then it spun slightly, and it kind of lights up things enough to tell you that whatever that happened inside, or at least right near an entrance into the side of the hill. You can kind of see it, and then at that point you can kind of see how there's like a little kind of makeshift structure around this entrance, which has been carved into the dirt, so it doesn't look like it was necessarily always there. Man-made structure that's kind of right around that, but you can clearly see an entrance into the tunnel. As that fades, you see some shadows running out of the tunnel and shooting back into the tunnel. You see a couple of reports from guns, and then they disappear into the darkness, and you're not sure where they went.
What's that?
Gunfire. Shooting at somebody in the mounds. And weirdest lightning strike I ever saw.
The gunfire seems to have stopped at this point.
Fortunately, I didn't see anything, so I can't make any guesses here.
Alright, so it looks like the lights, the torches, are around the entrance. It's not just the camp, it's like an entrance into the mounds.
Okay. So you're saying we'll have to, in order to get inside, we'd have to go through the camp, their camp area.
Yes.
Well, should we get closer? I couldn't hit anything from this far away, even if I tried.
And you were getting wet. Because the rain
And it's
continues.
wet.
I'll look at Runs at Deer with his bow, and I'll offer him my rifle.
He shakes his head.
It's gonna squirming forward here.
Gonna make a lot of noise that way and not move as fast.
All right.
So let's hunker down, move through the darkness.
As you're kind of creeping up, you can tell what it looks like is like it was like long stakes that had some canvas curtains attached to it, so it was, created kind of like a doorway vestibule kind of thing. But it appears to be torn, and some of the, legs and things and supports are broken. And the hill, as you get closer, now you realize it looks just really unusual in the sense that it's flat everywhere else around you, and then it's just hill, like random hill. There's no gentle slope up. It's just like this big old hill. Which looks like it'd be good for sliding in the wintertime. Ooh. Or sledding, depending upon how you want to pronounce it. But it's there. The hill is there nonetheless.
Yeah, so I was saying we could come up and then cut across.
Against the hill and then follow it?
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, so
that way we could almost lay down on the hill if we needed to. Okay. That way we're not walking straight at the opening.
Go ahead and make another notice check, and you're at -2 because this is hearing based.
All right.
Nope. All right.
10.
You can hear... Wow. All right. You definitely hear the sounds of people, like footsteps running in... This is through the rain. As you're angling this way to get a straight-on look at the entrance, you could hear them further away.
Okay, hold on. We want to come in against here and then come in like this.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I totally misunderstood you then. All right. So you're coming in straight this way.
Yeah, we're coming up against the hill so that we can then... So that they don't see us straight out the entrance.
All right. Perfect. So you come in here and then... All right. So you get to... As you are coming directly towards the hill, you still hear this. You can hear the sounds of people running and even some voices.
Okay.
They're muffled, but they continue to move away from your location and from the mound.
It sounds like they're running away.
But you definitely can get your backs and butts right up to the hillside there.
I'll whisper at Runs and Ears and say, high ground for cover.
Yeah, I cannot go in with you. I'm sorry.
Can
high
you go
for cover
on top?
I will go on top and I will cover this entrance.
Watch your back.
You as well.
Maybe you should take the lead.
It's the Evans Old Model Sporter, 34 rounds in it. I just wanted my hands free so I could shoot pistols.
You caught this one.
Hammer, trigger, cock. Okay. Side load. Not that you'll be needing to do that. If you fire off that many rounds and need more, something's wrong. Alright, now then. Here's something you probably have never heard in your life. How to sight a gun. With shotgun, you just point it, right?
Yeah.
No. Alright. How's the best way to explain this to you? Imagine an ace and a king.
Okay.
Alright. The point of the A, top.
Okay.
And between the K. That's where your bullet's going to go.
All
top
right.
of the A. Line that up at the top of the king.
Oh, because the... That makes a lot of sense. I'm impressed. Well, I'm always impressed, but
Who are we kidding?
All right.
As we're standing in the rain against a hill,
Yeah.
looking towards the camp.
Loosen the straps on all my pistols. Still got my jacket pulled so that they're staying dry-ish. Hat down, little bead running off into the hat. Collar up. Move up to the side.
I'm going to say about 10 feet behind him and follow behind.
As you kind of round here and you're kind of in the torchlight, which is now beginning to flicker more because the rain has picked up a little bit, you can get a better look you can kind of see where the campsite was that obviously was responsible for building this little entrance, and it looks like it has absolutely been ransacked. You don't find any signs of any bodies, but you can definitely tell there's been some damage done to this camp.
Looking at the type of gear, is it newish, newer, fancier, highly used?
Tough to tell. It's mostly digging equipment that you can kind of see, things to help sift through dirt, that kind of stuff.
Could be scientist. How big is it?
How big is what?
The little campsite here?
It goes beyond the torchlight, and but things are spread around. It looks like there's a couple of ruined tents as well.
Okay. Like how many tents? Is a guess.
Maybe 2 or 3, maybe more. It could go outside the firelight.
This could be the diggers that found the other.
Could be. Only one way to find out, I guess. Although a lot of them ran away.
Yep. But if we're here to stop somebody, they were shooting at somebody.
Could be the Red Hoods.
Well, I don't have a weapon drawn. And I'll step in.
So you go in.
And I'm kind of like this.
Okay. And it is dark, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Problem that you immediately discover, the tunnel entrance is only about 5.5 feet in height. And as you, well, not only the entrance, but the tunnel itself. So you're already, I'm assuming you're about 6 feet?
Yeah.
So you got to crouch down a little bit. How tall are you?
I'm probably a little bit shorter than that.
Okay.
5'10".
5'10". Yeah, so you're both kind of crouching a little.
All right. Looking down the tunnel, is there light at the end of the tunnel, or is it all black?
From where you're at right now, you cannot tell it's all black. I mean, it is all black. You can't see any light.
All right. I'm going to step back out of the tunnel.
Okay.
I'm going to grab 3 of the torches.
Okay.
And douse them.
All right.
You got rid of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so now
I'm going to grab the other one so that we're not backlit.
Yeah.
Right. And fuel source, oil. Are these like an oil lantern? Like a lantern?
Yeah, they're kind of like
covered lantern.
Yeah, they're like covered glass lanterns. So it's got a little kerosene or whale blubber or whatever in the bottom. And, yeah.
So I'll take the other one, and I'll start carrying it.
Or this one is. The other ones were just torches. So you actually have the sole lantern of the group.
Okay. I'll start carrying it down
in front of you?
In front of me, so I can see.
Okay. All right.
And if I need to drop down to a hand and knee every once in a while, I'll be like, oh, God, you tarnation. If you're going to make a tunnel, make it the right size, dang it.
One thing you notice that the tunnel itself, once you get in, that this part clearly was not dug, in the sense that, or dug recently. It is still earthen, but it appears to have been padded.
Hard pack.
Yeah, hard pack, smoothed out a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it has probably was always this way. So it wasn't like they used some sort of boring machine or anything, but you're walking in a tunnel that has been here for some time.
I think mostly I'm going to back up as we're going in to keep an eye back at the entrance of the place. I know Runs a Deer's watching us, but I'm not going to really have a shot in this area this small with him in front of me, so I'm going to keep an eye out behind us for anyone coming up.
You get about 20 feet in, and you reach a point where the tunnel continues onward, but it looks like the tunnel also branches upward and at an angle. Judging by the angle, you think if you wanted to, you probably could crawl up there. There's enough purchase in the hardpack that you could get up there. You could also make me a track check if you'd like, since you have tracking.
That would be a good idea. Or I'm gonna give you a.
You can give me a chip,
and I'm gonna add a D6 to my roll.
All right. So go ahead and roll that D6.
Okay, that gives me a total of a 5.
Okay, you can tell that whoever came in here has continued along the straight tunnel.
In an effort to head them off the pass, hoping that these two tunnels come together so that I might have a better vantage, I'm going to try going up.
Okay.
Take the high road, so to speak.
Where are you going?
As the light is disappearing.
He just starts going up.
I'm going to start crawling up after him.
All right, you can do that. If there's enough you can get between your feet and hands, kind of get yourself up there.
Once we get up, I'll turn around and see that you're coming up.
Okay.
Right? And I'll be like, wait here in case they come out. Let me know.
Like,
You'll have the drop on them if they go by you.
oh, you mean up here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you're going to continue up solo?
So he's going to be up facing back. So if they like come out,
Right.
he'll have a shot. And I'm going to keep going up solo.
Okay.
I'm going to load the shotgun.
Okay.
I have the rifle on this side of me and the shotgun laying on the other side of me, so I can just
Just pick one up.
pick one up as
got it.
needed.
So you keep going up. It angles up pretty good for a while. It doesn't certainly doesn't get too steep, like where you're nervous that you're going to fall or slide back down. I mean, unless you were like a fool, but you're being very careful. But eventually, it starts to level out, and then you can tell it kind of ends and looks like it drops down into another like a larger chamber.
Okay.
You do not see any other sources of any sort of light, or you do not hear anything, even with your bad ears.
All right. So when I hit that hole and I look down, I'm looking into darkness because I'm not holding the light over it at that point.
All right.
I'm just making sure there's no lights.
Yep, there is no lights.
Lantern out, looking down in.
You shine the light over the entrance, or over the drop down, and you take a quick sharp intake of breath, and you see something very similar to what you saw only a day ago. The light shows what looks like a ring of 11 bodies, or what's left of bodies. They appear to be in a seated posture again, except the biggest difference is it looks like they've got something on them. I mean, something covered in like some sort of funeral shroud of some sort, wrapped tightly around them that kind of holds them in that seated position, legs straight out, and then just seated. And they are slightly hunched, so their backs are to the wall, but they're obviously also very covered in time and dirt, and so they're very desiccated and in a lot of ways dirty and very old, and of course obviously very thin because they shrunk quite a bit.
All right. I'll take a minute just to take it all in.
Okay.
So I'm going to make a notice roll just to see how much I kind of perceive through the grime and the dirt.
Okay.
To remember later, which isn't much.
Nope.
All right. And then I will start backing out because I don't see anything moving in there. Do I see any other ways out of that chamber? Hold the lantern down.
Yeah, you're holding it and moving it around at various angles. And the way the shadows are falling, it's telling you that there might be another access tunnel just on the outside of the ring that these bodies are seated in.
How far does it seem like the drop is?
Drop down, probably only about maybe 10 to 12 feet. It's not too far.
And that would put me directly in the middle of the circle?
That would unfortunately put you directly in the middle of the circle.
Yep. All right. Back down.
Not gonna drop down?
Not gonna drop down. These old bones, you kidding me? All right.
All right.
Porter.
What? Dead end.
Very dead end. You remember the barn?
How could I not?
This mound is an old barn.
Oh, that makes sense.
How does that make sense? None of this makes sense.
Well, that means the red...
Tell me later.
Am I still laying here?
I'll drop back down.
Ow.
Okay.
Pushing past it.
Watch the rifle.
Watch the rifle and watch the fire. The little lantern go out.
Yeah.
All right.
So you drop down. Porter's still up in the tunnel.
All right. I'm gonna go down this way.
Okay.
Same plan as before.
Okay.
Don't shoot me if I come running.
What if I can't stop them and you need a warning? Although I guess gunshots would be a good warning. Where does this lead?
Top of the barn looking down.
Oh, this is a metaphor. I'll keep watch.
That's $5 word, ain't it? I never metaphor.
And I hope I never do.
I've bet a couple 8s.
You can pull another chip out for that, for the metaphor joke. I've never metaphor. That's a good one. I like it. I've met a couple of 8s. Sorry, that's good. I can appreciate that. Ooh, nice.
Okay.
All right.
Straight in.
Straight in, just you.
I'm keeping watch, back out of the mound.
Okay.
So when giants rise up and start chasing you, please warn me.
If giants start chasing me, they ain't making it out this tunnel.
The tunnel continues on for about another 50 feet. As you get maybe about 35 feet or so, you can hear... No, you can't hear anything. That's right.
Can I roll and see if I hear?
Yes, you can. You should probably make this. This notice roll since it's here based.
Me?
No, him.
Okay.
I'm beginning to love more and more that you're hard of hearing. I think I just did
11.
11.
Minus 2.
Minus 2
is a 9.
is a 9, which is actually good enough. You're on edge, and you can hear some voices up ahead. Can't really quite make out what they're saying, but it's something to, how much longer? How much longer? Just hang on, not too much longer. We'll get it. We'll get it. And then as you just creep just a couple steps, then you can kind of see some flickerings of light.
Lantern have a wick.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I really don't want to do this. I'm gonna wick it down.
Okay.
Take my hat off. Try to cover the lantern the best I can.
All right.
Right, so it's not just all glowy. And inch forward a little bit, see if I can see any light.
All right. As with each step, you definitely pick up some more light, and now that you've tuned yourself into the voices, you can hear it. As you're creeping forward, though, the tunnel is kind of continuing straight, so there's not necessarily any place for you to hide.
Right. And I don't see, I'm hiding the light, so I wouldn't see anybody, but if I see light ahead of the tunnel and like a figure that might be guarding the tunnel, then I'm just going to stop.
Okay, you get to that point where you stop. You could definitely see nobody standing like directly at the tunnel entrance. You could see somebody kind of almost stationary doing something, and then a shadow of a body kind of pacing around back and forth. And then you could tell that person says, "Come on, you can't be that delicate with it."
Oh, I'm going to hate this. Take my hat off the lantern. Don't lose a good hat here. Set the hat on the ground.
All right.
Right. And I'm going to take the lantern, wick it way up. I might as well put the hat back on. Don't want to lose the hat.
No.
All right. I'll wick it way up so it's nice and bright.
Nice and bright.
And then just pinch it down the hallway. Ooh. And while it's flying down the chamber, waiting for somebody to look.
And you hear a, "What the?" And then I say there's probably, make me, you do have throwing by any chance?
Throwing?
Yeah.
I do not have throwing.
Okay, so make me a strength check.
Oh, this will be good.
Here's where you're going to get all kinds of 4s. Ooh,
got
right. 5. That's not bad. Okay. I'm going to say there is a 40% chance that this lamp will bust.
All right.
Red's first, of course. All right, so it doesn't break. That's good. So there might be like a couple of little cracks here and there. So you throw it in there. You got both guns out. You see like a head pop up, blonde hair, and you realize why you couldn't see him. Now, with the way the light is casting, there are some large shadows of outlines of upper torsos in a ring kind of shape, and he's standing in the center of it. And so you see like his head kind of pop up almost in between two of these, and looking your way down towards the tunnel, and then kind of peeping into the light. And it's a dude. He's got a hat on. He's got a bandana mask covered up over his nose. Mm-hmm. And then you can see a shadow of a third out of your field of view.
I'm getting ready to pull the trigger on blonde hair.
Okay.
And then
mustache boy pops into view.
Yeah.
And that's going to be bang bang.
Okay. All right. Make your shot. I'm going to give him partial cover for a -2 for the bodies.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Now, I told you it would end with a bang. Thanks for enjoying this issue of Deadlands Dime Novels, The Adventures of Young and Holt. Tune in next time for issue number 6, Mound Up. In that issue, Young and Holt contend with the 3 individuals in the mound, as well as a few others. And then, they have to make a choice about someone close to them. Deadlands and Savage Worlds are the property of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Learn more about their great games at their website, peginc.com. And of course, thanks always to our friends at Fear the Boot. Support their Patreon at patreon.com/feartheboot. Now over there, you can get a bit more insight into our beloved Marshall's mind, and a lot more, if that pleases you. I'm Ernest Wick for the Tombstone Epitaph. And remember, it's fine if you want to travel down the rabbit hole. Just remember, the rabbit may not always be fond of house guests.